Hey guys, it's Danny Go here, here with another episode. So, the results have been a little bit of a, continued to be a little bit below where I'd want them, which kind of gave me, a lot of a thought of, what's going on, what's different from when I was more successful. And I sort of came to the conclusion the only thing that's really changed is that I have a lot more decay. Um, and that kind of also started my thought process of the NTI deeds when there was an event on NTI and there was like a million pet in globals and the payout was only 3 pec because it was on a mob where the decay was very low. I think that people were netting it. They weren't taking a lot of hits. They're probably using lower decay weapons. So kind of gave me a thought that, my decay is a lot higher. So I'm going to try lowering my decay. So week one of doing that, uh, small movement positive. Don't know, some of that's MU. Don't know if that's really going to happen. The big thing about this is it could get pretty boring because low decay weapons, what would that include? Token guns, they're essentially zero decay. I mean, they have decay, but they you're shooting so much ammo and the TT is only 1 ped. It's as close to zero as you can get. Um, Z12 Barbarilla, for example. Let's get sorted. Let me see if I can even find it. So basically, I used to go with a theory of decay, and then I abandoned that theory. So now I'm going back to that theory of decay. So what I want is the lowest decay possible. Z12 is one of the lower decay weapons. Now, obviously, this is going to have a lot of impact on how much pet I cycle because I'm going into low decay weapons. What are you talking about? So it's 20 pec. So what I do is I take a calculator. I do point or 0.02 pec, and I divide that by the total cost, which is um, 2.170. So that gives me a ratio of basically uh, less than 1%. So another weapon I like, it's not nearly as good, but on that ratio. But for bigger mobs, unamped, we can just take the justifier and we're gonna play this unamped to lower decay. You got 0.396. We're going to divide that by the total cost of 10.396, and we're getting like 3.8 percent. So 3.8%. I mean, a lot of weapons are in the 10% decay range. So obviously our goal is more smaller weapons, but if we're going to go big, try to use token guns to have nearly zero decay. Try to use the justifier. Try to have very minimal healing and armor decay. So that can also mean a lot of waiting around or just going slower. It's going to affect the mobs that I can hunt. It's just going to reduce the total cycle by a lot. I mean, something like, it's not even, it's more than 50% reduction. It's like, really, it's like an 80% reduction. Also, that's going to affect mining. I'm not going to be doing mining, not going to be doing a lot of crafting. So what that means for the videos, I don't know. I mean, if the results are good, I may keep going, but it could get pretty boring. How slow the cycle is, it may not be that interesting for me to update you if I've got, because basically that pretty much puts me on lasers and BLP. The skill gain is going to be very negligible, and it may not be that interesting to video on every week. But I mean, I'm committed to the videos, so if I'm not videoing every week because I don't find, that we have interesting content for a weekly video, then I may move to more, say, of a monthly video or bi-weekly or whatever makes sense. Um, you know, it's one of those things where, while I'm committed to the series, I don't want to have boring content. I know that sometimes not all my content is the most interesting, but I try to have value in there for you and to be interesting. So if I'm doing a extremely slow method that isn't really worthy of a weekly update, then I'm not gonna make a weekly update. I'm still gonna make an update, but maybe more like monthly. And I'm kind of assuming that moving forward, I won't be doing a weekly update. So just because I just don't think that the play style is so slow. Cycling 20% of the PED. I'm thinking this may be an interesting direction to see. 'Cause I'm thinking really what changed is when I started streaming on Twitch, I stopped paying a lot of attention to my decay, and I really focused more heavily on MU. Before I was more concerned about the decay than the MU, and then starting with the Twitch stream, uh, I became the opposite. I became more focused on MU than decay, and I figured that the MU will outweigh any decay, which to me it seems like a very logical idea, but to date has really not played out. So I'm going to try to do the opposite. Not that I have no focus on MU, but the priority is on decay. I'll prefer things I can hunt that have where I can put the decay, at around 1%, than say, and that they have sort of limited MU, or mild MU compared to, say, like a high MU mob where my decay is like 4 or 5%. Um, I wouldn't have played it like that before for a while, but that's actually the way I played it a long time ago, and I was more successful a long time ago. So I don't know, maybe that's luck, maybe it's not luck, but that's obviously, um, my theories were a certain way. They shifted, and now my theories, I'm going to try going back to an older paradigm that I was using. During the older paradigm, I had more success. How does it translate? I don't know. Maybe not. But it's definitely gonna be a slower game. You know, and see what happens, and um, keep you guys updated. Not sure that I'm gonna keep going with this video. A little tired. It's a long week. A lot going on in life. And it's not. It's interesting to see what happens, but it's okay. It's been a lot of stress, and hopefully things resolve well. But just gotta kind of take it easier and reduce stress and see where things go. But keep this video short and sweet and not bother with too much stuff. And I hope you guys have a great time in the game, and um, a good look out there. If you don't see videos from me every week, there, multiple reasons. One, I'm going to try to be resting up more. So that's going to reduce my play. But also when I'm playing, I'm going to be cycling way less ped. So, I just don't know. To me, it doesn't feel personally like I'm going to have the content, personally, how I feel about it. I don't know what people will think, but for me, if I'm making the video and I don't feel like I have content, that's going to affect my video. So I don't feel like I'll probably have enough content for a weekly video. So probably won't do that. Plus, it'll take a little load off me, so I can focus more on other things a little bit. And good luck, guys, out there, and hope you do well. And I'll keep you updated. But yeah, don't be surprised. There probably won't be a weekly video. Probably be more bi-weekly, every 3 weeks, maybe once a month. All right. Have a good one. Take care.